And, I'm not allowed to say this politically. It could end my career. They're really beautiful people. These are beautiful people. But like everything else, it's a little bit different today. You're not allowed to say that. Let's take a chance on it, Mike. Let's take a chance. So I want to thank everybody for being here. It's fantastic. And this is sort of a big, big day. It shouldn't have even been necessary to take place. This started a long time ago, and we ended it today. And I'm going to sign the executive order right now, and everything I said will go into effect immediately, okay? Thank you. If we have to worry about them, we have big problems. Okay, do you want to do this? Watch what I do, and then I'm going to give you some pens, okay? Are you ready? What a nice picture this is, huh, Governor?
Hey everyone, welcome back to Sports Dispute. Today we have a polarizing topic to discuss. We're diving into one of the most hotly debated issues in sports today. Should transgender women be allowed to compete in women's sports? Specifically, we're exploring the argument for why banning transgender athletes from women's sports could be the right thing to do. Now, this is a topic that has sparked passionate discussion, and we're not here to belittle anyone. So let's break down the facts and science behind the reasoning on this stance. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more discussions on the most polarizing sports topics. First, let's talk about fairness and competition. When it comes to sports, the goal is to create an even playing field where everyone has a chance to succeed based on their natural talent, training, and hard work. The argument against transgender women in women's sports is based on the fact that, biologically, transgender women, who were assigned male at birth, may retain physical advantages like greater muscle mass, bone density, and cardiovascular capacity, advantages that develop during male puberty. Even after hormone replacement therapy, HRT, which lowers testosterone, some believe that these physical advantages are still present, making the competition less fair for cisgender women. Advocates for banning transgender athletes argue that allowing someone with these physical traits to compete against cisgender women could undermine the integrity and fairness of women's sports. Now let's talk about how this might affect female athletes. Women who have trained their whole lives to excel in their sports are now finding themselves competing against transgender women who may have inherent advantages. This could result in female athletes being pushed out of podium positions, scholarship opportunities, and professional contracts, which are the direct result of hard work and dedication. For many, the argument is about preserving opportunities for biological women to succeed in their own category. Tell me, what's wrong with that? It's been that way for centuries. If transgender women dominate in women's sports, some argue it could lead to a decline in the visibility, recognition, and resources available for cisgender female athletes. Women's sports have come a long way in terms of equality and recognition. From Title IX to more professional leagues, female athletes are finally getting the attention they deserve. So the argument is, should women's sports remain a category that ensures equal competition for those born with female biology? Some believe that the inclusion of transgender women in this space risks undoing the progress made to protect women's equality in sports. By creating a clear line between male and female categories, it's argued that women's sports can maintain their focus on giving women equal opportunities to shine. There's also the issue of policy and fairness in competitive sports. Laws like Title IX were designed to protect women from discrimination and provide equal opportunities. However, as transgender women are increasingly competing in women's events, the question arises, does this change the definition of what it means to be a woman in sports? Think about that for a minute. Some legal experts argue that allowing transgender women to compete might create legal challenges under Title IX and other equality laws, since there could be a perceived shift in the definition of sex that may not align with the original intent of protecting women's spaces. So in conclusion, the debate over transgender athletes in women's sports is complex, but for many, the argument for limiting participation comes down to fairness, protecting opportunities for cisgender women, and maintaining the integrity of female athletics. It's not about excluding anyone, it's about ensuring that the playing field remains level for all. What do you think? Is banning transgender athletes from women's sports the right call? Or is there another solution to ensure equality for everyone? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, And be sure to subscribe for more in-depth discussions on sports disputes. See you in the next time.
Thank you very much. This is a nice crowd, isn't it, huh? You've been waiting a long time for this. So have I. Actually, it's so ridiculous. But here we are. And this doesn't have to be long. It's just all about common sense. Doesn't have to be long. In a few moments, I'll sign a historic executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports. It's about time. Under the Trump administration, we will defend the proud tradition of female athletes, and we will not allow men to beat up, injure, and cheat our women and our girls. From now on, women's sports will be only for women. But before going further, I want to share some very exciting news from our military. After years of shrinking force numbers at levels that nobody has ever seen before, 4 years of this we went through, and missed recruiting targets every single month, it was just announced that in December, the U.S. Army had its single best recruitment in more than 15 years. Thanks. Every single day, nearly 350 new soldiers enlisted to defend our nation, and they're very, very happy to have done so. We've done lots of interviews, and we asked why this was taking place now, and they just said there's a spirit about our country that they haven't seen in many, many years, and I happen to agree with that. But it really is clear proof that the spirit is sweeping our armed forces, and we have a great leader in Pete. As you know, we all know Pete so well. He's going to be fantastic, and so many of our great heroes, and people are starting to understand what hero is all about. So that is something that is very important. We've gotten the woke lunacy out of our military. And now we're very importantly getting it out of women's sports. That's taking place very strongly. So in recent years, the radical left has waged an all-out campaign to erase the very concept of biological sex and replace it with a militant transgender ideology. You've heard a little bit about this, haven't you, huh? Just a little bit? Does anybody agree with them? No. Would be not a good thing to say yes right here. Female athletes have been forced onto the front lines, and men claiming to be girls have stolen more than 3,500 victories, that's a lot, and invaded more than 11,000 competitions designed for women. Last year, a male cyclist posing as a woman competed in the 800-mile Arizona Trail Race, a very big deal in cycling, and obliterated the women's course record by nearly 5.5 hours. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it, huh? 5.5 hours, but you have to hear the weightlifting records. You think that's bad. The weightlifting's worse. In 2023, a man in women's powerlifting broke 2 world records and outlifted his closest female opponent in one event by 440 pounds. And they continue to defend themselves, Mr. Congressman. You know that, right? They continue to defend themselves. We hope they continue onward because I don't think we can lose a race. This was one of the big reasons that we all won, and it's one of the big reasons that we had a record, a landslide like they haven't seen before, very often anyway. And who could forget last year's Paris Olympics, where a male boxer stole the women's gold medal after brutalizing his female opponent so viciously that she had to forfeit just after 46 seconds, and she was a championship fighter. And actually, they had 2 women or 2 people that transitioned, and both of them won gold medals. And They won them very convincingly. But all of that ends today because with this executive order, the war on women's sports is over. You ready? We'll do a good job. Wait, let me press that. I want to make this a really good signature because this is, this is a big one, right? Oh, I think we have a 10. We have a 10.
God bless you, Mr. President.
Pretty good, huh? I see that. Okay? Good. Now you're going to go out and win those events, right? Nice to see you all. Great going, everybody. Nice to see you.